Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, have you finished your assignment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me check. There are 17 participants. Okay, so we'll wait for others to come in. How's the assessment?
Hello, everyone. Hello. As you all know, the topic of today's webinar is about the unisex clothing. Here you are listening to Priya Singh. I'm going to talk about the unisex clothing to you. The term unisex, as applied to dress, was coined in the late 60s to denote clothing suitable or designed specifically for both males and females. Talking about the history of the unisex clothing, denim jeans and t-shirts popularized in 1950s by Hollywood cinema inaugurated the democratization of clothing. Up till that point, they had served as working class garment that signified a particular niveau in society for the burgeoning younger generation. The seductive charm of young actors like Marlon Brando and James Deacon, combined with the powerful vehicle of motion pictures, transformed jeans and t-shirt not only into fashion phenomena but perhaps the first truly accepted unisex article of clothing. You have in the 1950s or 1940s, whenever you think about vintage clothing, you may have found out that there are a lot of pictures which picturized like the industrial, where you will find both the male and the female. The costume is particularly the same. That's where the unisex clothing concept has rise. Liberation from genders. The seed of youth revolution planted in 1950s full blossomed following decades. The 1960s were a period of extraordinary change, one in which conventional notions of age, gender, and class were completely redefined. In an environment conducive to experimentation, the era pushed designers to incorporate new definition of youth and versatility into their work. The idea of unisex in particular gained currency precisely for its implication of multi-phase freedom. In the obvious sense, unisex meant liberation for genders, but more importantly, its association with the future is disavowal of traditional hierarchies and old-fashioned attitudes made it a major driving force for fashion. There are a lot of subcultures who do follow unisex clothing, like the grunge and all, the liberation, all the liberal groups. The space exploration in 1960 not only brought the youth awake, but it was also the age of space exploration. All aspects of society was affected by it, including fashion, which was directly reflective of the times, placing a big importance on minimalistic design, geometric construction, the use of synthetic materials, and the idea of unisex. Designer Perry Carden revolutionized fashion by creating a futuristic clothing fit for the space age. He reproduced single-breasted, round-neck jacket, stretch jersey, tunic, and leggings for both sexes and dressed men and women alike in unitards and jumpsuit accessories with rounded helmets and flat plastic eyelids. The Carden-Rudy Greenwich. Like this contemporary Carden flourished in a time when political and social unrest called for the remapping of gender identity, often labeled as inventor of unisex fashion. Greenwich explored male and female representation in society by playing with established ideas. His unisex project erased the line dividing the sexes through de-emphasizing the importance placed on the sexual attributes and rendering their banal. The centerpiece of the unisex project was Monokini, a piece topless bathing suit intended to be worn by men and women who had shaved all head and body hair. The concept of unisex has far-reaching implication because it disturbs society as such at a basic level. Fashion becomes a powerful tool in subverting sexual identities through connotation of dress. Throughout his history and with varying degrees of success, designers have challenged conventional dress codes. In the 1920s, Chanel envisioned a new femininity in fashion that incorporated trousers, the symbolic of masculine powers. However, it is not until the women's liberalization movement of the 1970s that pants were universally accepted as female attire. From this point forward, the impact of unisex expands from broadly to encompass various themes in fashion including androgyny, mass market retail, and conceptual clothing. Androgyny. Androgynous habits of cross-gender impersonation date back to the privileged class of 17th and 18th century England and France. However, after the industrialization revolution and the subsequent rise of the capitalist society, a fair structured dress code dividing men and women re-emerged. The next great revolution in fashion, the youth cake of the 1960s, would shatter those gender idols. The 60s premium on the youth led the way for fashion that was either specifically feminine or masculine. From space age to hippie, the ideas of dressing was less about being boyish or girlish that it was about an overall frenzy of youth fascination. Talking about the subcultures, in the 1970s continued with the exploration of gender, both underground and the mainstream in fashion propers, where Saint Laurent advocated the masculine look for women, while the subculture movement of punk and glam rock stabilized as least virtually a identity through the androgynous dresses. Further in the 1980s, Jean-Paul Gaultier sent men and women down the same catwalk in a similar style, sarongs and pantskirts inspired by the Orient. Simultaneously, the new wave movement fused punk and glam rock influence to create the next generation of unisex fashion. In the contemporary movement, the style of the 1970s and 1980s live on through countless retro vitals, put the pioneer of a new type of androgynous newborn in luxury lines in designers of Dior, Home, Silmanet reworks men's classic tailoring through subtle detailing, and his collection have become devoted internationally by both chic men and women. As he himself states, I think all a state of mind who cares whether a guy or a girl wears the garment. This masculine feminine dialect doesn't interest me. In my head, we are all little bit of both. Talking about the mass market retail, retailers such as the Gap, incidentally born in Revolution 1969, have produced widely successful globally market clothing lines founded on the basic range of simple unisex separates, t-shirt, jeans and trousers, sweaters and jacket. Their domination of the clothing market stemmed from the affordability, accessibility, and their capacity to transcend age, gender, and perhaps the most importantly, trend, the gap, consistency in design and marketing guarantees the firm continual growth and success in the climate where the average consumer seeks more and more to dress in affordable, comfortable, and casual wear that will stand the test of time. The conceptual mode. The avant-garde is in fashion has historically generated a design based on a framework of conceptual ideas, converting theories into architecture of the body independent of genders. Ernesto Theat worked with fashion under the futuristic conviction that society would only be revolutionized through aesthetic. Fashion bridged the divide between the avant-garde and the masses. In the early 1920s, Theat created a unisex garment known as the tuta that was similar in design to Russian constructive uniforms. The tutu was a monotone, varied in fabric depending on the session, and as worn without an undershirt for all occasions. The legacy of such experiment in fashion was rediscovered in various contexts from the 1980s onward in contrast with the glitteries and the glamour of the Western fashion in the 80s. Japanese designer Rie Kawakubo and Yohji Yamamoto created a collection the press dubbed as the post-Hiroshima look in a reaction to the hyper-feminist sexuality ubiquitous in European and American fashion. Kawakubo and Yamamoto designed genderless, loose, asymmetric, and irregular clothing in black that placed a primacy on garment construction. here we are all done with the short description and history of the unisex clothing. And according to some of the researcher and the trend, like there is a huge trend of the unisex clothing of fashion. We are looking forward in the future. As you are aware of the sustainable issue going on around the world, can you tell me what are the what are the other things I missed out here in this PPT of mine? I want you to point out like what all things I have missed out. Hello, am I audible? Hello?
Okay, and please send it in my email. Don't send in my WhatsApp. Okay. Any questions?
No, sir.
No. So are you good? So
Yes, sir.
let's make these coming sessions interesting. Okay. Let's make these coming sessions interesting. Okay. So I'll also try my level best to make it more interesting. Okay. But I also need your participation. Okay. Because if you want to be interesting, I cannot be interesting only from my side. I also need your participation. Okay. So till then, let's stop for today's session. Let's stop here and then we'll meet again tomorrow at 9 o'clock morning. Okay. So thank you.
Okay,
And
sir.
have a nice day. Have a blessed Sunday.
Bye,
Sir.
sir.
Bye, sir.
Yeah, bye.